So what's the difference between winners and the majority? Is that correct? Okay, cool.
The math.
Yeah, the maths behind
The
them.
mass.
Oh, the masses. Okay, the difference between the winners and the masses, the majority. Well, look, if you look at even human language, if you look at words like exceptional, in definition of being exceptional, you have to be the exception. If you look at words like extraordinary, if you want to be extraordinary, you have to be extra. So when it comes to the masses versus winners, if you look at Kobe Bryant, he was one of my inspirations for entrepreneurship. Quick story time, when I was 18 years old and I was in high school, near the end of my high school, I was 17 actually, studying for my year 12 exams, I liked going to parties on Fridays. My parents were very strict. I was the oldest child. So when I wasn't allowed to go to parties, I would watch TED Talks. And TED Talks inspired me because they thought differently to how I was raised. And I was like, you know what? I like the way these guys think. And I'd already been a basketball guy. I'd watched the Michael Jordan documentaries, the Allen Iverson, the Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James. And I learned, much like the TED Talk guys, that Kobe Bryant was making 1,000 shots a day using a shooting machine. And the shooting machine, what's that, man? The shooting machine is a very expensive machine. Basically, it's where you put it under the basketball rim, it goes into the hoop, and then it spits it right back at you. So I was like, okay, you know what? I want to be like Kobe Bryant. I want to put 1,000 shots up a day. But I didn't have money. I didn't have money at all. I was very broke at 18, 19, 17. So I get into network marketing, multi-level marketing. Some people call it a pyramid schemes. I disagree with them. Anyway, that's a different conversation. I get into network marketing. I also start working at YD, the clothing store. That's one of the first ever jobs I had. And I still remember the clothing store. It was in Werribee Plaza, 2018. I was 17, 18 years old. One of the first jobs I had. So I get there. I'm learning about sales with MLMs. I'm doing YD. And my focus is to make enough money to buy a shooting machine. I'm trying a bunch of different business models. Long story short, I end up, after many, many, many years, after trying entrepreneurship and other things like that, end up finding a shooting machine to use that I didn't even have to buy. Now, why do I mention the shooting machine? And how does this correlate to being the masses and winners? What Kobe Bryant instilled into me is you have to do such a ridiculous, disgusting amount of volume every day that it is unreasonable for you to win. So that's the basketball side of things. I'll tell you how I did that from a business perspective. You see, what I was doing when I was working in corporate sales, I worked for one of the fastest growing tech companies in all of we can work if you want, in all of the world actually. When I was 21, it was a tech sales company, and I was selling SaaS solutions to different SMBs. And what I would do is I would take notes on nearly every single call that I would make. And I mean every single call. No pickup times two, NP times two. And then what I would do, we working that way? Which way? This way? Okay. And what I would do was I'd be like, okay, this one no picked up. This one said F off. This one said, you know what, in order for me to call them back the next day. What's going on, baby? Turn me up.
Hey, you got Mike?
That's all right, man. Do your thing. It's all good. Could be on YouTube. Could be. Could be. That's it. That's it. Yeah, thanks, brother. Appreciate it. And what I realized was I needed to practice my tonality, but I didn't understand that my tonality was my biggest weakness until I was taking notes on nearly every single call. So I then took it up a notch. Similar to this, I would walk in different parts of Australia, of Melbourne rather. I'd walk to Toorak, I'd walk to Brighton, I'd walk to Werribee, the west side, and I'd go to door knock people and pitch them my marketing services. And then I'd record on my phone the audio because my tonality was my biggest weak point. So what happened was by the time I was 22, 23, I'd done so much repetition on listening to my sales, on listening to the way I communicated, listening to the way I used tone, listening to the way I told stories. Storytelling was something that I had to practice. A lot of people, if you actually study me and my come up, you can find videos of me at 19 doing storytelling and network marketing. That was 7 years ago. I'm 26 now. That was 7 years ago. So that's a lot of repetitions. When it comes to winning against the masses, the winners usually have done such a disgusting level of repetitions that it's second nature for them to win. It's in no way second nature for me to win. No way at all. But one thing that I have realized is in order to give yourself the best odds of winning, you just have to outdo people. I think Patrick Bet-David said it best. You want to outwork, out-strategize. And I forgot the third one, but outwork, out-strategize, and outsmart, something like that. And if you do those three things for a period of 10 years, it's very difficult to lose. So those are the things that I've learned about, outwitting the masses. But really, one of the things that you're going to have to learn, and if you're an entrepreneur, if you're just a human in general that's trying to excel in any domain, You're going to have to learn that to win, you have to be very comfortable going against the grain of what's considered normal. You know, my parents were very scared about how much I was working when I was in my early 20s. Many times they said, come back home, dummy. Come back home. You know, we'll help you do this, do that, do this. If you, just give it a bit of a pause and you focus on your university degree.